Stella slammed the door of her family's brownstone in Brooklyn, her heart pounding like a war drum as tears blurred the streetlights outside. "You can't do this to me," she screamed into the night, her voice echoing off the parked cars, but the only response was the distant wail of a siren. In that moment, she knew loving Summer meant losing everything she'd ever known. Stella Rodriguez had always been the dutiful daughter, the one who followed the script laid out by her conservative Puerto Rican family in the heart of New York City. Her parents, Maria and Carlos, ran a small bodega in Bushwick, where the shelves were stocked with plantains, Goya beans, and dreams of a better life for their children. Stella, at 25, was pursuing a master's in social work at NYU, her days filled with lectures on inequality and her nights helping at the store. She wore her heritage like a badge, loud family dinners, Catholic Mass on Sundays, and an unspoken expectation to marry a nice boy from the neighborhood and start popping out grandkids. But then came Summer Hayes, a whirlwind of freckles and laughter, who crashed into Stella's world like a summer storm. Summer was 24, a freelance photographer from Seattle who'd moved to the East Coast chasing the raw energy of the city. With her messy blonde waves, vintage camera slung over her shoulder, and a tattoo of a compass on her wrist. "To always find my way home," she'd say. They met at a rooftop art show in Williamsburg. Stella was there with friends, sipping cheap wine and pretending to understand abstract paintings. Summer was capturing candid shots, her lens finding beauty in the chaos. Their eyes met across the crowd, and it was electric. Summer approached first, bold as brass. "You look like someone who's got a story to tell," she said, her Pacific Northwest accent soft and inviting. Stella blushed, unused to such directness. They talked for hours about the city's hidden gems, Stella's passion for community outreach, Summer's love for freezing moments in time. By the end of the night, numbers were exchanged, and Stella felt a spark she couldn't ignore. Their first date was at Coney Island, under the boardwalk lights. Summer won a stuffed bear at the ring toss and presented it to Stella with a flourish. "For the girl who's about to change my life," she joked, but her eyes were serious. They walked hand in hand, the ocean crashing nearby, sharing secrets. Stella confessed her family's rigid views. Summer shared her own coming-out story, how her liberal parents had thrown her a party when she told them at 16. "Love is love," Summer said, quoting the slogan that had become her mantra. As weeks turned to months, their bond deepened. Stolen kisses in Central Park, late-night texts that made Stella's phone buzz under her pillow, weekend getaways to the Hudson Valley where they hiked and dreamed aloud. Summer introduced Stella to queer poetry slams in the Village, where words flowed like rivers of emotion. Stella showed Summer the real New York, the hole-in-the-wall empanada spots, the salsa dancing in Spanish Harlem. It was intoxicating, this freedom Stella had never known. But cracks began to show. Stella's family noticed her absences, her glowing smiles. "Who's this friend you keep seeing?" Maria asked one evening over Eras con Gandals. Stella dodged, but the questions piled up. Then came the dinner where Carlos, after a few beers, ranted about those people ruining traditional values, quoting the Bible. Stella's stomach twisted. She excused herself, texting Summer, "I can't keep hiding us." Summer was patient at first. "Take your time, babe. I'm here." They met in secret in coffee shops far from Bushwick, in Summer's tiny apartment in Greenpoint where the walls were covered in photos, now including ones of Stella laughing, her dark curls framing her face. Their love was a sanctuary, filled with whispered promises and gentle touches that spoke volumes. Yet the pressure built. Stella's sister, Anna, stumbled upon a text one night. "Who's Summer? And why is she calling you my love?" Anna confronted her, eyes wide with shock. Stella begged her to keep quiet, but Anna, torn between loyalty and family doctrine, wrestled with it. "This isn't you, Stell. Mom and Dad will freak." The confrontation came on a rainy Sunday after Mass. Stella sat her parents down in the living room, the crucifix on the wall looming like a judge. "I'm in love," she said, voice trembling. "With a woman. Her name is Summer." Silence exploded into chaos. Maria wept, clutching her rosary. "Dios mío, what have we done wrong?" Carlos thundered, face red. "This is not our way. You'll end this nonsense now." They forbade her from seeing Summer, threatening to cut her off financially, to disown her if she persisted. Stella stormed out, heart shattered but determined. She met Summer that night in a diner on Atlantic Avenue, rain streaking the windows. "They hate me for loving you," Stella sobbed. Summer held her strong and steady. "Then we'll fight for us. Together." But doubt crept in. Stella missed her family, the warmth of home. Summer felt the strain, her photos turning somber. Little did they know the real storm was brewing. Anna, in a misguided attempt to save Stella, had started digging into Summer's past, uncovering secrets that could tear them apart. Weeks after the blow-up, Stella moved into a cramped sublet in Queens, her belongings in 2 suitcases. The freedom tasted bitter, laced with loneliness. She threw herself into her studies, interning at a LGBTQ+ youth center in Manhattan, where stories of rejection mirrored her own. It fueled her fire, but at night, she ached for her mother's hugs, her father's gruff advice. Summer was her anchor. They built a routine: mornings with coffee in bed, evenings exploring street art in Bushwick, ironically close to Stella's old life. Summer's photography gigs picked up. She landed a spread in a local magazine featuring queer couples in the city. One photo was of them, anonymous but intimate, hands intertwined against the Brooklyn Bridge at dawn. "This is our story," Summer whispered as they admired the print. But Anna's meddling simmered beneath. She'd found old social media posts from Summer's ex, a woman named Riley from Seattle. Riley painted Summer as flighty, a heartbreaker who'd left without warning. Anna, convinced this was proof Summer was trouble, anonymously messaged Stella. "Ask her about Riley. She's not who you think." Stella dismissed it at first, but seeds of doubt took root. During a picnic in Prospect Park, she confronted Summer. "Who's Riley? And why did someone say you broke her heart?" Summer's face paled. She admitted, "We dated in college. It ended badly. I was young, scared of commitment. I left for New York without closure. But that's not me now. With you it's different." Stella wanted to believe her, but the betrayal stung. "How do I know you won't run from me too?" Their first real fight erupted, voices raised under the oak trees. Summer stormed off, leaving Stella alone with her fears. Reconciliation came swiftly, as it often does in young love. Summer showed up at Stella's door with flowers and a handwritten letter. "I'm all in, Stella. No more running." They made up, passion reigniting, but the incident left scars. Meanwhile, Maria and Carlos grappled with their daughter's absence. Maria lit candles at church, praying for guidance. Carlos, stubborn but hurting, confided in a coworker whose son was gay. "Maybe we're wrong," he muttered one night. But pride held them back. The turning point came at Pride Month. Stella, volunteering at the parade, marched with the youth center float, rainbow flags waving. Summer photographed the event, capturing joy and defiance. In the crowd, Stella spotted Anna there with friends. Their eyes met. Anna waved tentatively. Later, over coffee, Anna apologized. "I was scared for you. But seeing you happy, maybe I was wrong." Hope flickered. Stella invited Summer to a neutral dinner with Anna. It was awkward but warm. Stories shared, laughter tentative. Summer charmed with her easy smile. "Your sister's amazing," she told Anna. For a moment, Stella dreamed of reconciliation. But drama escalated when Riley appeared in New York for a conference. Bitter and vengeful, she tracked Summer down via mutual friends. At a gallery opening where Summer's work was displayed, Riley confronted her. "You left me broken. Now you're playing house with someone else." Stella overheard, the words slicing deep. "Is this true? Did you destroy her?" she demanded. Summer denied the extremes, but Riley twisted facts, painting a picture of betrayal. The gallery buzzed with whispers. Stella fled into the night, heart in pieces. Summer chased after her, through the crowded streets of Chelsea. "Please listen. Riley's hurting, but she's exaggerating. I was immature, yes, but I've changed for you." They argued on a bench in Highline Park, the city lights mocking their turmoil. Stella's trust wavered. "How can I build a life with you if your past keeps haunting us?" Summer broke down, tears flowing. "Because I love you more than my mistakes. Fight for us, Stell." In the end, Stella chose forgiveness, but the wound festered. They sought couples counseling at a community center, unpacking baggage under a therapist's gentle guidance. It was raw, Stella's family trauma, Summer's fear of abandonment. Sessions brought tears and breakthroughs, strengthening their bond. As fall turned to winter, Stella reached out to her parents. A tentative call. "I miss you," Maria cried. Carlos grumbled but listened. They agreed to meet, no promises. The dinner was tense, in a neutral Italian spot in Midtown. Summer was polite, sharing stories of her own family. Maria asked questions, curious despite herself. Carlos was silent until the end. "If she makes you happy, we'll try." It wasn't full acceptance but a crack in the wall. Stella and Summer walked home hand in hand, snow falling softly. "We're defying them," Stella whispered. Little did they know a bigger test loomed. Riley's revenge wasn't over. Riley's vendetta peaked in the new year. Obsessed with closure she never got, she leaked old emails and photos to Stella's family via Anna's social media. The messages detailed Summer's past flings, exaggerated to paint her as promiscuous and unreliable. Anna, horrified, showed them to Maria and Carlos, reigniting the fire. The family ambushed Stella at the bodega one evening. "This woman is poison," Carlos bellowed, waving printouts. Maria sobbed. "We were starting to accept, but this? She's using you." Stella defended fiercely. "Those are lies from a bitter ex." Summer's changed, but doubt resurfaced, amplified by her parents' pleas. "Come home, Mija. End this." Torn, Stella distanced herself from Summer, needing space. "I have to sort this out," she said, voice breaking. Summer, devastated, nodded. "I'll wait. But don't let them win." Alone in her sublet, Stella spiraled. She pored over the emails, questioning everything. Friends advised caution. Her therapist urged communication. Meanwhile, Summer threw herself into work, photographing protests for women's rights, channeling pain into purpose. The climax hit during a blizzard that blanketed the city. Stella, snowed in, received a call from Anna. "Mom's in the hospital, heart scare from the stress." Panic surged. Stella rushed to Brooklyn Hospital, braving the storm. There, in the waiting room, family tensions boiled over. Carlos blamed Stella's lifestyle. Anna defended. "This is on us, Dad. We're pushing her away." Maria, from her bed, whispered, "I just want my daughter happy." Stella broke. "Happy means Summer. She's my heart." In that vulnerable moment, Carlos softened, seeing his daughter's pain mirror his own fears. As Maria recovered, the family talked, really talked. Stella shared stories of her love, the joy Summer brought. Summer, hearing of the crisis, showed up uninvited, bearing soup and sincerity. "I love your daughter," she told them. "I'll prove I'm worthy." Reluctantly, they listened. Over hospital coffee, barriers crumbled. Carlos admitted his own youthful rebellions. Maria shared fears rooted in cultural loss. It wasn't instant harmony, but a start. Post-crisis, Stella and Summer reunited in Central Park, snow crunching underfoot. "I almost lost you," Stella said. Summer pulled her close. "But you didn't. We're stronger now." Their relationship deepened, infused with hard-won trust. They volunteered together at the youth center, mentoring kids facing similar struggles. Summer's photography book on queer love in America featured their story anonymously, a testament to resilience. But betrayal lingered in subtle ways. Riley, realizing her meddling backfired, sent an apology email. "I was wrong. Be happy." Stella forgave, closing that chapter. As spring bloomed, Stella's family invited them for Easter dinner. Awkward at first, prayers adjusted, conversations careful but genuine. Carlos even asked Summer about her camera, a olive branch. The couple dreamed bigger. A trip to Seattle to meet Summer's family, plans for a shared apartment. Love, once forbidden, now flourished in the open, a beacon of hope. Yet life threw curves. Summer got a job offer in Los Angeles, a dream gig shooting for a major magazine. "It's temporary," she assured, but Stella feared distance. "What if you don't come back?" Debate ensued, echoing old insecurities. Summer promised, "You're my home. We'll make it work." Stella, drawing on their growth, agreed. "Go chase your dreams. I'll be here." The separation tested them. Weekly flights, late-night calls. Stella focused on graduating, her thesis on family acceptance in immigrant communities drawing from personal pain. In LA, Summer thrived but missed Stella fiercely. Temptations arose, a flirty colleague, but she stayed true, her compass pointing east. The reunion came at Stella's graduation. Summer surprised her on stage with flowers. "I'm back for good," she announced. Cheers erupted. Even Stella's parents clapped, pride shining. Their love, forged in fire, emerged unbreakable. In a city of millions, they carved a space for themselves, defying expectations. With graduation behind her, Stella landed a job at a nonprofit in Harlem, advocating for LGBTQ+ rights in minority communities. It was fulfilling, bridging her heritage and identity. Summer, back in New York, opened a small studio in Dumbo, specializing in portraits that captured authentic stories. Their apartment in Astoria became a haven, walls adorned with photos, shelves with books on love and resilience. But old wounds reopened when Carlos faced a health scare, a minor stroke from bodega stress. Stella rushed home, Summer by her side. In the recovery, Carlos reflected, "Life's too short for grudges." He asked Summer for photography tips, a subtle acceptance. Maria baked pastels for them, a gesture of warmth. The couple's bond inspired others. At a community event, Stella spoke, "Love isn't about fitting molds, it's about breaking them with kindness." Summer captured the moment, her lens focusing on hopeful faces. Drama resurfaced via external forces. A conservative relative, Tio Ramon from Puerto Rico, visited and stirred trouble. Hearing of Stella's phase, he lectured the family. "This goes against God and tradition." Tensions flared at a barbecue. Carlos defended, "She's my daughter. Back off." Stella, overhearing, confronted Ramon. "My love is real. If you can't accept, leave." Summer stood beside her, quiet strength. Ramon left grumbling, but the incident unified the family further. As summer heated up, they vacationed in the Catskills, hiking trails, stargazing by campfires. "Remember our first date?" Summer mused. Stella smiled. "How could I forget? You won my heart with a teddy bear." Intimacy grew emotional, conversations deep into the night about futures. Marriage, kids via adoption, building a legacy of acceptance. "We'll show the world it's possible," Stella said. Back in the city, betrayal struck from an unexpected source. A colleague at Stella's nonprofit, jealous of her rapid rise, spread rumors about Summer's past to discredit her. Whispers reached donors. "Is she stable enough for this role?" Stella fought back, gathering support from allies. Summer, hurt but resolute, confronted the colleague. "My past doesn't define me." The nonprofit investigated, firing the saboteur. Victory was sweet, but it reminded them of fragility. To heal, they attended a queer retreat in upstate New York, workshops on trust, yoga under trees. There they renewed vows informally, exchanging rings etched with "Defy." "Forever," Summer whispered. Fall brought milestones. Summer's book launched to acclaim, featuring a chapter on their journey. Stella's family attended the party, Maria beaming. "My daughter's in a book." Carlos posed for photos, awkward but proud. Yet the biggest conflict loomed. Stella's desire for children clashed with Summer's fears. "I'm scared I'll mess it up, like my own doubts," Summer admitted. Therapy helped unpack. Summer's absent father figure from childhood surfaced. Through tears and talks, they compromised. Foster parenting first to test waters. Their first placement, a teen girl named Mia, kicked out for being bi. Mentoring her mirrored their struggles, bringing purpose. Mia's presence tested and strengthened them. Late nights helping with homework, navigating her emotions. "You two give me hope," Mia said one day. As winter approached, a proposal brewed. Summer planned it meticulously. Atop the Empire State Building, city sprawling below. "Stella Rodriguez, will you marry me? Defy the world with me." Tears flowed. "Yes. 1,000 times yes." Family reactions varied. Joy from Anna, cautious happiness from parents. "As long as you're happy," Carlos said, hugging them. Planning the wedding blended cultures. Puerto Rican traditions with queer twists. Venue in Brooklyn Botanic Garden, vows heartfelt. But pre-wedding jitters hit. Stella doubted. What if society never fully accepts? Summer reassured. "We accept us. That's enough." The day arrived, spring blossoms framing their union. Maria walked Stella down the aisle. Summer's mom did the same. Vows echoed. Through Forbade dance and return, I choose you. Reception danced into night. Salsa mixed with pop, laughter abound. Mia toasted. To love that defies. In honeymoon bliss in Hawaii they reflected. We made it, Stella said, ocean waves lapping. Back home life settled into rhythm. Stella promoted, Summer's studio thriving. They adopted Mia formally, creating family. Years passed, their story a legend in circles, proof love conquers. When challenges arose, societal shifts, personal doubts, they leaned on each other, defying every expectation. Decades later, Stella and Summer sat on their porch in upstate New York, retired but active in advocacy. Mia, now grown with her own family, visited often. The couple's home was a museum of memories, photos yellowed, rings worn smooth. Their love had weathered storms, political backlashes against queer rights, where they marched in Washington, health scares like Summer's bout with pneumonia, where Stella nursed her tirelessly, even quiet drifts mended by recommitment. Stella's family evolved. Carlos became a vocal ally at church. Maria hosted queer youth dinners. We were blind, they'd say. Anna's kids called them aunties. Normalization complete. But reflection brought humility. We almost didn't make it, Summer mused one evening, wine in hand. Stella nodded. That forbidden start. It forged us. Their book, expanded into a memoir, inspired thousands. Letters poured in. Your story saved my relationship. They spoke at events, voices steady with wisdom. A final trial came with age. Stella's diagnosis, early Alzheimer's. Fear gripped them. I won't forget you, Stella vowed. Summer prepared. Memory books, daily rituals. As symptoms progressed, Summer read their story aloud nightly. Her family forbade us. Stella's eyes lit up, fragments returning. Yet we returned, she'd finish, hand in Summer's. Community rallied, friends, family, ments. Mia helped with care, her presence a full circle gift. In quiet moments, Summer whispered, You're my everything. Stella, even in fog, responded, Defying expectations. The end came peacefully, Stella in Summer's arms, sunset painting the sky. I love you, were her last words. Summer grieved deeply, but honored her with a foundation for queer elders. At the memorial, tales flowed, drama, romance, humanity. Summer lived on, camera in hand, capturing legacies. Our love defied, she'd say, smiling through tears. In the end, their story wasn't just romance. It was a testament to resilience, forgiveness, the human spirit's capacity to love against odds. Forbidden yet eternal. Word count, 415 weight, total story aims for 5,000. Adjusting cumulative. Note, cumulative word count across files. File 11023 plus File 2 1018 plus File 3998 plus File 4 1012 plus File 5. Expanded to reach total. To hit exactly, expand File 5 reflection. Summer traveled back to NYC, scattering ashes at their first date spot. Full circle, she whispered. Years later, Mia's daughter read the memoir. Grandma's love changed the world. Their legacy endured. Personally, profoundly human.